Hey everyone, welcome back to Rob's Daily Classics. Found this 1967 Mustang Coupe in Austin, Texas. He's asking $16,000, a lot of money, and but still an interesting car to check out. So let's go. And this car here is in Austin, Texas on Craigslist. Found it just a little while ago. He says the car is all original, numbers matching and everything. He must sell because he's moving, and I believe that because in Austin, Texas, between Apple and Google and all the other high-tech stuff there's a lot of transient folks moving in and out of Austin all the time. So I kind of believe the backstory, what he's trying to say, but his price point doesn't represent a moving price point. I think he's a little high because the car has a six-cylinder engine. It's basically the 200 cubic inch engine, six-cylinder. There were a lot of engines that year that you can get on this car. From a 289 to 302 to 390s, there were a host of engines that you can get, and this is just a six-cylinder with a three-speed manual transmission, so it was kind of a budget type of car. As you know, a little backstory on the car, as you know that the first generation came out in 65 and lasted to 73. Fastback, hardtop, and convertible series. The platform was shared with the, of course, it was built from the Falcon, but it was shared with the Cougar, Comet, and even the Ranchero at the time. Read up about this car. It's really interesting. Lee Iacocca, how they launched the first Mustang from the Empire State Building in New York City. Kind of fun. The 1967 model year did see some big changes, though. It was a redesign, refresh from the original 1965, and most notable was the side scoop here on the quarter panel and the door. That changed. The front grille work changed, as well as the rear taillights that had this concave look in the back for where the rear taillights are, which is really kind of good looking. I think the car looks nice. So it's a notable year for people that like these cars. I do like the 67 a lot. I like the 64 or 65 as well, but this car started getting a little bit more contemporary, a little more modern in its look. Nice car. This is a base car, folks. This is what people bought. They said, go into a dealership, I want a Mustang. What's the base car? Well, the base car is a notchback, six-cylinder engine with a three-speed manual transmission. I'll take it. And that's how these cars were sold. So, diving into the car a bit, the paintwork looks to be, I doubt it's original, but he does say the numbers match. It's probably an older paint job, almost looks like a lacquer type paint finish. I don't know, but the paint looks really nice, and maybe a little dullness here, but that might be the sunshine on the car. But yeah, look at that beautiful scoop here in the door. So the door, the rear quarter panel, and maybe even the front fenders were re-stamped, recasted in a dye to get that look in 67. So there was some money spent on this car in 67. Nice bright work, chrome trim around the greenhouse. I like that a lot. And the notchback is a refreshing car to look at today because, everybody has the fastbacks and convertibles, but I kind of like this look. I mean, I think the color is really nice. Bumper looks great. Car looks like it's a good shape. It looks like a scale of 1 to 10, maybe an 8, but what he doesn't, the interior looks beautiful, absolutely. I mean, the seats were redone. The door panels look like they're probably newer. Dashboard looks great. The carpets are new. So there's some money put into this car. That steering wheel doesn't do anything for me. That's like a J.C. Whitney steering wheel. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather see the original steering wheel. But looking at the door jambs here, I guess this was the original color if it was repainted, and I think it was, but it's possible. That interior looks like that's been replaced and that's new. It's a nice car. Now he's asking $16,000, and folks, when you're selling a car, you got to take photos, So an engine bay photo of this car and an undercarriage photo of this car would help sell it right away, right? And because he doesn't have that engine bay photo, we have a lot of unanswered questions about this car, how original the car is. So that's one of the first things I would ask this seller for is, hey, shoot me up a engine bay photo and maybe a couple of shots of the undercarriage. He says in here that the car's all original, numbers matching, but he says it needs a tune-up. And that's kind of silly to do when you're running an ad for $16,000 for a car. These cars are simple to do a tune-up. Just spend $100, put 2 hours of labor into this car, get the spark plugs, and make this car run real sweet. Now, if it needs a tune-up and it's because the gasoline tank isn't good or the gas is bad, Well, that's a problem, right? It may not be a tune-up. It might just be a, varnish in the gasoline and things like that. So those are the things you have to look out for. But I'm going to give this man, the benefit of the doubt and just say that it just probably just needs a tune-up. He probably hasn't used it in a while. Overall, it looks really nice, but $16,000, you have to go express to the seller that, I can go and bring a trailer, and for that same price, $16,000 to $18,000, I can find an identical type car with a 289 V8, and they're out there. So if you go on Bring a Trailer, they got a lot of examples to look at. And this one here, is a 289 V8, and it was sold for $19,000 back in 23. Prices was still going a little crazy then, but I think a V8 Mustang anything, the first generation Mustang anything in a V8 is always going to be a very desirable car. Not so much a real appreciating asset, but certainly something that people will want to own as the years click on. So I don't think this car will ever fade from being a popular car with people on the streets and on the roads and things like that. So it has a lot of collectability, so to speak. If that collectability means that you have appreciation on what you buy it for, then all the good. But you buy this car for the price, you're not really going to see much appreciation because the car does not have a an 8-cylinder. So I'm all in on this car, giving the benefit of the doubt of the engine being really nice. I'm thinking more of $13,000, $14,000. So got like a $2,000-$3,000 difference in what he's asking for. And if he's really moving, he's going to want to sell it, and I'd go there with $12,000 cash and see if I can make a deal with the guy. I doubt he has a lot of people coming in at this price, so you might be one of the few people that actually go look at this car, and that will help you negotiate and see what you can do and maybe get this car for a better price from what he's looking to get. But it's definitely worth a trip to look at if you like these type of cars as I do. And, Texas is a great market to visit and get some steaks and have some fun in Austin. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this car. If you're not already a subscriber on Rob's Daily Classics, please subscribe by hitting that arrow where it says subscribe. We'd love to see you. Give a thumbs up if you like the video, and as normally, pass along the video to friends that like cars as well. So there you have it, a 1967 Mustang. Beautiful interior. I really love the interior on this car. In Austin, Texas, if you type in Austin, Texas Mustang on Craigslist, this car will come popping at you. I'm Rob. Thanks for joining me tonight, and we'll see you here.